I was watching a program recently, one of these shows, where they bring singles that, are, trying to connect them and all of that. And, he was left with like two or three choices at the end of. There was a lady who was looking at because physically it felt like, oh, she's beautiful. She got the shape, feeling attracted to her. But it got to a place of asking questions, and they asked questions about kids. And the lady says that she doesn't mind taking care of children, but she's not interested in having a child of her own.
Wow.
And the guy was like, that's a deal breaker for him. She said, so
So they
sorry.
had to.
And the guy said, and the girl said, no, I have children around I can take care of, but you see, when it comes to me having a child of my own, my head can't wrap around
So
it.
this shows that, like, if you had not asked that question and maybe just brushed it over, they would be married, and then he would be expecting that, oh yeah, it's time to have children, and she'd be like, oh wait, I don't want to have kids. And hello everyone, my name is Debbie, and this is my darling husband.
My name is Vic.
And we're Debbie and Vic. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 important questions to know if your partner is the perfect match. And I know that it worked for me. Like, one thing about asking questions is that beyond, getting to know each other, asking about favorite food and all of that, you have to get down into business so that you don't spend a lot of time just asking all of they are important. What's your favorite color? All those things are important, but you need to ask the important questions from the get-go so that you know from the beginning if you are compatible with each other.
So if this person is my soulmate, as they say, or this is the person that I'm going to be spending the rest of my life with. I think the first one is about asking yourself, do you share core values? What are the values that drive you? What is the value that is driving the person?
Yeah.
Firstly, for example, if you are a child of faith, like a Christian, I shouldn't be expecting that you want to possibly go with an unbeliever or something,
Yeah.
because you don't share the same value. Things as you look at related to your goals, related to your belief, related to your priorities, you need to discuss about them. What are some of the things that are core to you?
Yeah, I think beyond being Christians, which would be the first thing you want to that's like the first order. Like, of course, you're not dating someone that is not Christian, so that's why we did not talk about it. But beyond being Christian, there are some other small nuances that you don't know until you get to know the person.
Yeah.
So if I can meet you in church, we can both be lifting holy hands, but because we come from different cultural backgrounds, our core values in life is different. Some people might just like the way we both of us like to travel, which was one of the things that connected us together when we started dating. In fact, the second time we were hanging out, we went to do a tour of a river, a boat trip, and all of that. That was the second time we hung out, and it was because we both enjoy doing these things. But if I had gotten married, or you have gotten married to someone that does not like traveling, you have to keep explaining yourself to that person that this is why we need to do this is why this is important to me. So that's just one important thing about core values. You just ask them what's most important to you, or where do you see yourself in the next 10 years. And then when they tell you their story, this is what I want to achieve in the next 10 years, just ask yourself, how do I fit into this person's life? If the person says, oh, I see myself in the US or outside of the country, studying this or doing this, you have to ask yourself that, do I want to relocate? Is that a big deal for me? Those just those small small nuances that you don't get to know until you ask the right questions. So that is why, for you to even understand their core values, you have to ask them the right questions. So asking have you eaten is good, but then you need to get serious, in getting to know this person
Mm.
beyond just laughing or gisting
Yeah.
about, oh, have you watched this TV or watched this thing. Ask them about themselves. Get to know the person you're trying to be in a relationship with, or you are in a relationship with. Do they make you better? Do they inspire you to be better? So you there is an angel in us, and there's also a demon in us, and it depends on what you're feeding, that would materialize. So if you see someone that maybe a couple that you really like, you should know that they are who they are because they are nurturing each other. We've talked about it before, that you can bring out the best in someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can bring out the worst in someone.
Yeah.
So if someone is constantly bringing out the worst in you, that you're always angry, you always want to fight, you always feel like you should break something, and you know that that is not you. You're feeling like something is wrong with you. You're starting to act like you're not all right upstairs just because you're in a relationship. Then obviously that person is not good for you. They can be great in person, they can be great friends, they can be amazing person, but as soon as you are in a relationship that is constantly bringing out the worst in you, then you know that you both are not right for each other.
There are people you meet that they just make you constantly angry. They make you feel like you like
Yeah,
quarrel
that's
or you
that's
like issues.
possible.
Yeah, there are
And you
people you
now
meet
meet someone else
and you
and
meet
you're like,
someone else and
I'm
you're like,
not
do you
even
understand? You know?
a bad person. I don't even like
Yeah, do
fighting.
you get? Now,
But
I've once met someone that once told me that, fighting is just part of the things that spices the relationship. So every little time
why?
she's trying to pick up quarrel, pick up
Why?
fight, and the thing just makes me so tired. And at the end of the day,
Oh
I
my
just felt
god.
like, no, this is not. And she said, no, that fighting is part of love. It's part of. So in my mind, I was like, if that is how your ideology is built up, then there is problem. All
Yeah.
right. So some people just have that ideology. That's why we spoke about core values earlier. But I'm trying to say at the end of the day, this person brings that bad part of you. You
Yeah,
are
you now
always
start
quarreling,
fighting.
exchanging words over unnecessary things and stuff. And then you meet somebody else that,
Is your
just connects
peace.
with you. You just feel
Peace.
that peace around you and
Yeah.
others. For me, I think that's the kind of person you should, it just gives you that stuff that, okay, this is it. This is someone that wants to. So the person should make you better. The person should bring out the best in you rather and also push you into, becoming a better version of you. I think the third one for me would be, can you communicate openly, and honestly? You
Mm.
know, communication is core when it comes to marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage or relationship is more of talking. If you don't talk, you can't build a successful relationship, and you can't build a successful marriage if you don't talk. For married people, if not 90, how many percent of the time, it's more about talking and communication.
Yeah.
Some think it's about how many percent do you use for the sex. How you look at it is
See?
more of communication. All right. So you should be someone that you can communicate openly to, and is somebody that you can communicate honestly to. Meaning that honestly means that you can pour your heart to the person.
Yeah.
Like it's somebody you should be vulnerable with. It's somebody that you should pour your heart to. When you are going through stuff at work, you are going through stuff in business, you are going through stuff somewhere, is somebody you should be able to talk to. Because if you can't talk openly to the person and then you can't talk honestly to the person, it's a problem. Remember that I once had this female friend at the time that was like a friend to me, and I was in Ibadan then, and I was trying to start up like a youth church in Ibadan, and I remember we were having a conversation then. And we were not dating, but just friends, getting to know each other and stuff. And I was trying to tell her about some of the challenges, trying to get people. And she I think she said something to me. She was like, oh, have I heard of this young guy also that is quite, and stuff like that, that if I'm having that challenge, I need to check again if indeed I was called or I was anointed. There was a way she puts it,
Oh wow.
and I paused. I didn't say anything, but that that was the last time I ever created the time to have
To
a
talk.
meaningful conversation with
Yeah.
her, because I just felt, no, if this is somebody I'm like considering in my mind, then I'm wrong, because I'm going to go through life. There are going to be issues. Even if I'm anointed with fire from heaven or anything, and I talk, my mouth removes fire and all of that, I'm still going to go through the process, of building things, and building
Yeah.
things can take time. And so
Yeah.
for me, I just knew this wasn't it.
So the next question. So the truth is that there will always be disagreement in a relationship.
Yeah.
You have different cultural backgrounds, you have different outlook to life. Even twins that were born like formed in the same womb would have conflict. But the question is, how do we resolve our conflict? There is a toxic way of resolving conflict where you call each other names, say unspeakable words to each other, or do things to hurt the person just
Mm.
because you are quarreling with them. And even though you claim you love them, but you are hurting them because you guys are fighting. And then there's another way of resolving conflict whereby you both talk it out like adults,
Mhm.
trash it out. This is what you did that I don't like. I'm sorry, apologize and then move on. Conflict is a normal part of the relationship.
Mm.
But then the question is, how do you resolve the conflict? So if you come back from a conflict feeling sad, unhappy, or the person keeps breaking up with you each time you have a disagreement, and you have to go back and beg, and then they'll come back to you, and then another time you fight, it's over, or they say words that are unspeakable, or they just do things that hurt you. You
Mm.
should know that that is a bad that is laying like a very bad foundation for the relationship. So you guys might not be compatible if your way of resolving conflict is by abusing each other, by
Mm.
calling out
Raining
each other.
insult.
Some,
Yeah.
yeah, some will even go as far as beating you.
Yeah.
That is not love. And that is one of the questions you need to ask yourself to determine if you're compatible or not.
Yeah, I mean, I really agree. Disagreements are normal, but how
Yeah.
you manage them matters. If you notice that while dating someone, while courting someone, you do not manage conflict to a very good extent, then it might be a very red light that you need, because for the rest of your life that you be with that person, there will be a lot of conversation going on,
Yeah.
a lot of disagreement.
Yeah.
Sometimes you not agree on something. We don't really fight or quarrel, but of course there are disagreements. There are times, no, I don't like the way you do this thing, and you want to go this direction. That's not the direction I want to go. And then we have to come to make a healthy compromise at the end of the day. That
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
level of
I think that is
maturity.
the
Yeah,
compromise.
when it
Yeah.
comes to conflict, coming to that place where you have a healthy compromise. And as I said, you need to study yourself. Let's not, some people are very hot tempered. You can't just go and
Yeah.
you can't pick a hot tempered person and say you want to. Some people are, but you work on yourself. Don't go and be looking for a good person when you have not. But you get what I mean. I'm saying
Yeah.
temperaments are
Yeah.
different. The way people handle things are different. The way people talk. Some people talk very loud, very lousy. Some people talk, talk rude too in a way. So you need to work on yourself. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that you also need to look for someone that also complements you, someone that understands you to a level, because there are people that where they grew up, the way they talk to some, you they mad, something like that. Like some people from the home they grew up, that's how they talk. But they get married to somebody else that, they say that it can be like, okay, the person is insulting them or something.
Yeah.
So you just need to understand people, then know how to manage conflicts, talk things out, discuss. If you need a mentor also, that's another way. Have a mentor. The Bible says in the multitude of counsel there is actually safety. But managing conflict is very critical when it comes to making decision in marriage, and it's something that you can't run away from when you are married. I think the last one we're trying to look at is, do they align with your future?
Yeah.
Does this person align with your future? Does this person look like your 10, 20, 15, 20, 40 years goals to come? Do you see the
Yeah.
person in your
Do
future
you want to grow old with
with
this
them?
person?
So when
Yeah.
you think of the future, can you see the person in that picture? I don't know if you I once was a friend with someone, and of course I know she did like me at the time, but I had to look at that this person with the way she's doing, choice of, in trying to either pursuing things, or I wasn't looking for like a full-time kitchen housewife. Let me use that word. I wanted somebody that was striving in what she would do, and I said, yes, that's my wife there. That's the kind of person I wanted. So I could, easily, feel that this thing for my wife, because when I met her, she was, doing stuff, photography. She was trying to do a PhD. I felt, I felt proud,
I should go back to my
and stuff
PhD.
like that, So, but what I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to say is that when we had discussions about business, about life, about traveling, about stuff, I could see her in my future. I could see that, yes, this is it. This stuff we are trying to do about relationship and all that, it's been something we have discussed even before we got married. It's
Yeah.
something we knew that we wanted to do, as a part of, like, a ministry. It's something we feel that there is purpose drawing us to be able to help many people, as many young people as much as possible. So you need to ask yourself, this is the future. Can you see this person in your future?
Yeah.
If you want to go into ministry, you need to talk to the person about it. Is the person seeing himself as a pastor's wife, or as a pastor's husband, or as an evangelist wife? You want to become a missionary in the future? You need to have that discussion. The person needs to see, does he or she sees herself as a spouse to a missionary in the future? You want to go into politics, that's what you're crazy about. Is the person okay with marrying somebody that is a politician? I
Yeah.
think these are conversations. In deep in your heart what direction you are seeing for the future. And if you've not seen that, you need to discover that. So have that conversation. That will give you a kind of idea, of the kind of person that God will most likely connect you with, that will support you in your path to destiny. Yeah.
Yeah. And to help you with asking the right questions, because for you to get to know someone better, you have to ask the right question. So, and if you're watching to this extent of it, this length of the video, we are giving you a gift.
Mm-hmm.
We wrote a free compatibility ebook
Yeah.
that will guide you on the questions you need to ask to actually get to know someone better before you say yes to them.
Yeah.
So the link would be in the description, and yeah, you should probably click on it right now
All right.
to get a free gift.
Please do that. And, thank you so much for watching. We want to say that in all, do well to seek the face of God,
Yeah.
pray about things, beyond the principles that we'll share. uh, pray about it, seek the face of God, allow the Lord to lead you. But when you begin to see some of these signs that at least we've listed, it has a way of guiding you towards what you feel that is God's will for your life, or towards what you feel that this is whom God is bringing into my life for this particular assignment. So pray about it, keep trusting God, and do well to always seek counsel whenever you need it, as the Bible says that in the multitudes of counsel there is safety. God bless you. Please subscribe, and if it has blessed you, do well to share it with someone. All
Thank
right.
you for
Thank you.
watching.